What's going on, guys? My name is ATF Cobra, and today I wanted to bring you guys my top 5 favorite guns in Battlefield 3. Top 5 of the best guns I think are in this game. Best ones to use in just about almost every situation. Now, if you take a look at the stats and the fire rate, all the stats for all these weapons I'm covered today. And today we're actually taking a look at the M4, the AUG A3, the L86 A2. And the Scar L, and also the M16A3. Now, a couple things I wanted to talk to you guys about why they're my favorite guns and why they're almost the best guns to use in Battlefield 3 is because their overall capabilities of handle and just being able to go out and dominate with these weapons and not have to worry about any serious or negative actual weaknesses in the guns. I mean, there's a lot of guns that have a lot of weaknesses that keep me from constantly using them because the weaknesses that they do have are either their recoil is too damn high or the reload speed is too long, because that can actually lead to your downfall. In a lot of cases, you want a gun that's well-rounded and that's going to help you in every battle, and that's what the M4 is. For me, in most cases. And that's why it's the first gun up on the list. It's my first gun that I continuously go to. And even when I was on the Xbox, it was the gun I had the most kills with. It's the gun that I had everything, the most server stars and everything with, and it's the gun that I used the most because it was so reliable. And don't use guns that are favorable. The guns that everybody wants to talk about, the guns that everybody talks about and say, hey, this is a good gun. Use the gun that you're good with, and the gun that serves a overall purpose of dealing damage to your enemy and still allowing you to do well without putting you in a actual handicap. Because a lot of these guns, if you do look at them, they are pretty good, especially with the Scar L. I love the Scar L, but my biggest problem is its fire rate. I mean, sometimes you'll be shooting at guys and it'll take forever to kill them. Even though you'll be accurate on target, you're gonna need something a lot better than the Scar L in some cases. But overall, it does work. But yeah, taking a look at the M4, you guys can see the most of the attachments that I do use on the M4, probably the foregrip and the flash suppressor. Most likely I won't have the foregrip on because I've been trying to keep myself from using it, because it has no real advantage when you use the foregrip. And this gun, it does feel a little bit more stable when you use the foregrip, but it's actually you get that aimed accuracy penalty, which kind of sucks. But the M4 is my favorite gun, overall, hands down, even over the M16A3. I love the M16A3, but the M4 just feels a little bit better, overall. Even though if you guys look at the stats, they're, completely separate. Carbine and assault rifle, they're completely separate. But anyways, second gun on the list is the AUG A3. My next favorite gun. I love this gun. I just love the way it looks. It's a pretty cool gun, especially the way it shines on the map and stuff, and handles fairly well. Its fire rate is pretty decent. It's the only problem with this gun, like many guns, is the spread. It has a very high spread, and the bullpup action allows you to be fairly mobile. Having that mobility really means a lot, especially when you're playing as the assault, because you can get to your teammates and throw down many packs in the areas and keep the fight with your teammates as well. And that's why I love using the AUG A3. And my favorite attachments, of course, with this gun have to be with the flash suppressor and the Cobra sight. Sometimes I'll use a foregrip to, help increase its, stability, but even that sometimes doesn't work too much. And you'll find that the actual spread, it does increase a tad bit when you're using the foregrip as well. So that's why I stay away from it. I've been just like I said before, just with every gun, I've been slowly learning to, stay away from the foregrip, because it was a monster combination pre-patch. Everybody used foregrip and suppressor on every gun, but now, now that DICE has nerfed it, now there's a lot more reason to actually use different attachments. So this is also a good thing, because you learn to use the heavy barrel, which increases the vertical recoil by a ton, especially on the AUG A3, while increasing the muzzle velocity and also increasing your accuracy and allowing you to have a tighter spread. But at the same time, the The heavy barrel does add too much recoil to some guns, especially the AUG-A3, and it handles really poorly when you use the heavy barrel because of the spread. I mean, it's fairly decent. It's pretty good, but it's something I'd avoid if you guys aren't too good with shooting or if you're not too good at controlling your recoil. But other than that, the heavy barrel is perfect combination for this weapon. And I love the medium range and long range of the actual AUG-A3 because it stays, the recoil is very manageable, when you're going long range. And that's why I love using it. It's just, when you're taking on, guys with M16s or AEKs, that's when you're more than likely to lose those fights because they have higher fire rates. This has a decent fire rate, but outsmarting your enemy, as you guys will see here in a minute as well, it's probably your best bet. Moving tactically around the map and staying mobile is always a key as well, because when you do show up on the mini map, when you show up on the mini map actually when you shoot your actual shots. So that's why you want to stay mobile. You want to keep your enemy guessing exactly where you're at, so they don't always come for you and take you out. And make sure that you also you guys, when you're using your perks, or when you're actually, before you're using your specializations, I said perks, wow, when you're using your specializations, make sure that you always go with how or what type of gun that you're using. If you're using a gun like the AUG, and you're gonna be in constant battle, so you might want to use a squad suppression that's gonna help you in gunfights. If you're using a gun that chews up ammo, or you're using your favorite gun that uses a lot of ammo, then you're gonna want to use squad ammo. And if that's the assault actual role that you're playing, if you're playing the support, then you're just fine. But make sure you use a specialization that ties into the gun that you're using. And not only that, but if your team is actually using all the same specializations, make sure to switch or let them know that they need to switch, because you don't want to be using or stacking the same specializations, because that just makes you guys look awful. Next on the list, the Scar L, my favorite gun, super accurate, super beast. It's just I love this gun to death, but just having that low fire rate is like dicey. Seriously, they could have at least beefed up the fire rate to at least 700 or something, because it just feels like this gun, it takes forever to kill people, even though it's my favorite gun because it's pretty accurate. Your targets, you'll see a lot more hit markers on your enemy, and you'll see that a lot of your shots will land, especially the first 2 to 3 shots. Even if you do fire fully automatic with this gun, they're gonna land successfully. And the reason why is because this gun has a beast accuracy, and you don't want to use foregrip at all. You don't even want to go there. I mean, your flash suppressor, of course, is gonna allow your gun to handle a little bit better. Heavy barrel with this gun is not too bad. You'll notice the initial vertical recoil is gonna be a little bit harder to control. But if you do get used to it, if you keep playing with it and testing things out more, you'll learn how to play with the heavy barrel, and you'll do a lot better in Battlefield 3 as well. But overall, the Scar L, 625 rounds per minute, is just pretty ridiculous. I mean, it's not that bad because there's a lot of other assault rifles that are around that same category, like the L85 for the assault class, and they're around the same fire rate. But it just feels like those guns are just super accurate with low actual fire rates, which kind of sucks, because you do want a gun that fires accurately. At the same time, you want a gun that fires fast, because it's most about speed in this game, even though you can be tactical and move around and get on a 30 kill streak with the Scar L, which I've done probably once or twice. But yeah, anyways, we're looking at the L86 now. This is for the support class. I love this gun just because of its sheer accuracy as well. Most of the guns that I do actually play with or love playing with have a lot of accuracy, and this accuracy is going to help you because most of the engagements that you actually face in Battlefield 3 are going to be medium and to long, depending on how you play or your play style. Now, if you're playing that play style that you want to go, even shorter, you want to run around and try to sneak up on an enemy, of course, you're going to run into those situations as well. But accuracy is your best bet, because if you're not accurate, if your gun's not hitting your enemy, then there's no point of actually using it, no matter what the fire rate is. But anyways, L86, 45 rounds. You couldn't ask for more because it feels like a assault rifle on steroids. Just being mobile. You're still mobile with this gun. It doesn't feel any slower. You're still at the same speed, still at the same rate that you would feel as if you were using an assault rifle. But this, hands down, I love using this gun over. Sometimes I'll use it more than the M27 IAR because it just puts shots exactly where you need them to be. And that's all you guys need. Even if your aim is not too terrible, if you play with a gun that has pretty decent accuracy, you're still gonna get those kills. You're still gonna get that generous actual hits, detection in Battlefield 3. And a lot of the times, one of the things actually you don't have to worry about in this game, which I love, is just being off target, or lag, or facing any type of lag. Sometimes there are lag spikes in this game, and you'll see it physically. But most of the time, you don't have to compensate for lag in this game, which is perfect, which is good for new players, and it's even better for pro players as well, or even, veterans. But so anyways, so this support class gun is very dangerous. Being mobile and throwing down ammo packs for your teammates, and still having enough rounds to clear more than a couple enemies. You can wipe out an entire squad with this gun because of the 45 rounds if you can aim and be successful with it. But yeah, and next we're going to be covering the M16A3. I'm not showing too much footage of this gun because everybody knows how it handles. Everybody knows how to use it and what it does, and why is it one of the most popular guns in this game. It's just dominant. Super fast fire rate, reload, is blazing fast. I mean, it's Call of Duty fast, at 1.5 seconds. That's crazy for a gun like this. And its accuracy, it's pretty good. It's just that overall gun that just, does well in all situations, in almost all situations. The recoil is not too bad, but with the upcoming patch, this gun is going to change. It's going to be a little bit different, and it's going to push a lot of players off of it. It's going to push some players into new and different guns, or it's just going to keep the veterans still at it. I mean, the M416 is going to get a boost, so maybe more people will play with that gun or use that gun over the M16. But still, overall, it's one of those guns that you'll always go back to. If you're having a bad day or having a couple bad games, and you're looking for that gun that's actually gonna help you, get back on your feet, this is that gun. This is that gun that will put you back into the game and give you that momentum to actually move forward into, getting a couple more kills, or helping you take out your enemy. But there's not much that can be said about the M16A3 that hasn't already been said, in tons and tons of videos. And even for yourself, all those, especially when you start playing Battlefield 3, this is the first gun that just about everybody uses, or the AK. And this is a gun that you'll always return to because it just works, and it's pretty dominant. There's nothing else I would have in my hands in any other situation, over anything else. I wouldn't take fire rate or even accuracy over it, even though it does have a decent accuracy. But this video is just about wrapping up. I hope that you guys did enjoy my top 5 favorite guns, or top was it top 5? I think it was top 5, around that. Top favorite guns in Battlefield 3. It's been your boy ATF Cobra. Peace.